Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So happy Sunday. We are getting ready to enter another week. But before that, let's talk about what we have to look forward to. There are a lot of Fed headwinds that we are still facing. But overall, Bitcoin is historically oversold. So what's next? Let's talk about these things. So, welcome, guys. I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to your football and soccer. This is probably a bad time to be streaming. I may have to push up my Sunday streams from now on. But for those of you guys that are here, let's get started. Well, you can see on the screen here, we have a lot of economic data that we'll be reporting this week. Okay, of course, this all affects the man below, and that is Powell. So we have about 2 more weeks until the next FOMC meeting. So everyone is starting to, again, speculate what's going to happen. Is it going to be dovish, hawkish? Is there going to be a pivot or pivot language? What's going to happen, right? But a lot of this data is going to play a factor in what Powell and the other board of governors are going to decide. For example, how are consumers feeling about, how much money they have, what they're paying? What about jobs, right? Is the payroll still going up? Wages, are they still going up? What about our GDP? Is it still declining, right? And there's many others, including PCE inflation, which should concur with what CPI said a few weeks ago, but there's that too. And Powell does like PCE better. So, there's a lot of stuff. Unemployment, non-farm payroll. This week is full of economic data in the U.S. Could be a tremendous week. I think we're going to see some volatility. Last week, of course, Thanksgiving week, lower volume, people traveling. This week, people are coming back. I do think we're going to see a lot more volatility this week, but that doesn't mean it's bad volatility. It could be good. Some of these things could show that the economy is actually slowing down in a big way, which is what Powell wants, and that would actually send markets higher. So, yeah, there's that. And all these other FOMC governors are speaking this week. Bullard, William Cook, and then, of course, Powell. I don't know why he's speaking, but he is also. And then Bowman Barr. There's a lot of FOMC governors or members that will be speaking this week, also giving their insight before the big meeting that's going to happen 2 weeks from now. So things that Bitcoin is facing, right? The headwinds of this is challenging, to say the least. But you know what? There's a lot of things to look forward to. For example, this is just in general, not even related to Bitcoin, but just in general, overall market sentiment. And you have this bullish sentiment, which has dropped in basically zero. Okay, like no one is feeling bullish right now. And then you have this bearish sentiment that's sky high. But that's actually a good thing, because prior times when this has happened, guess what? Markets went up in a big way. Okay, so this is also, also pretty positive. The Fed pivot may be coming, right? That would be positive, but overall, in terms of just fear level, sky high, greed levels, all-time low, really. And when you put these two things together, that generally means a reversal is coming. So just a general thing to show you guys, to keep in the back of your mind. All right, but as for Bitcoin itself, we are in the second longest prolonged downtrend ever in history. Think about that. I believe 410 was the longest, and we're like 390 something, and that's even longer than the previous downturn that we had from 2017 all the way down to 2019. So think about that. We have already survived more than a year okay, of this downtrend. And if you're still here and you're still watching, well, pat yourself on the back. Like I said before, if you could live through this, you could live through anything, okay? And despite us being in this downtrend for so long, Bitcoin is still holding at 16,000. I know that's not what people want to hear. We're not at 20,000. We're not back to 30,000 or anywhere near 40, 50, 60, or 70. But you look at all the previous downtrends, where did Bitcoin end up? 3,000, 4,000, under 6,000, right? So Bitcoin is still forming new lows every single downtrend and, of course, forming new highs. But if you survived this, then really you could survive anything, anything that we'll see in the future. So be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for that. But of course, all the Bitcoin bulls are not going away. The Mooch, Anthony's, was it Scaramucci from Skybridge Capital, is still doubling down at his prediction, 100K, no problem, will come. But end result, 500K long term. So very, very bullish. He put a lot of money into Bitcoin because he believes in it that much. And Tim Draper still believes 250,000 is still in play because retail, actually, he believes women are who control most of the buying power in households. They're starting to learn more about Bitcoin and realizing that Bitcoin can actually save a lot of money. So that is the reason why they will be turning more into Bitcoin or Bitcoiners or utilize Bitcoin for payments. And that will help, of course, adoption and help Bitcoin get to 250,000. And Cathie Wood still thinks that 1 million is still in play also. So the biggest Bitcoin bulls, of course, not going away. I didn't mention Michael Saylor, who still believes Bitcoin can hit infinite. So overall, very, very, very positive. What's also positive is this. Just recently, New York said that they're going to ban Bitcoin mining because, well, they didn't say because why. They just said they were if Bitcoin miners are not using 100% renewable energy. But, you know, Texas is like, hey, screw that. Come here. We're going to be the, you know, the state for Bitcoin miners, I guess. And they actually say that it's good for power grid because it allows them to actually improve their power grid to handle all the Bitcoin mining. But overall, when you improve the power grid, it helps everyone, right? So glad to see that there are states that are pro-Bitcoin mining and overall utilizing it for the greater good, I guess. You have other countries like Belgium that declared Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities, and any other token that is not released by people but by code, like DAOs and stuff, they're not securities. So around the world, we also have more and more countries that are turning pro-Bitcoin and pro-crypto. Also, very positive. Very positive indeed. What's also positive is if you look at the fundamentals, like, for example, the balance on exchanges continues to drop like a rock. It dropped more than even the price, and that is fantastic. The more that gets removed, the better it is overall. Within a very short amount of time frame, we're talking about almost 1 million Bitcoin. This is not $1 million, 1 million Bitcoin being removed from the exchanges. Think about it. And there's not that many in circulation to begin with. So the more that gets removed, the better it is overall. And of course, I did talk about this at the beginning and in the title. Bitcoin right now is at a historic low or a historic oversold level. Right? There's so many that measures this. Here's one from Stock Money Lizard that's looking at the 3-day, and you look at the previous downturns that we had, right, where that money flow indicator dropped to, and then look at where we are now. We're actually below that. So we're talking about, and there's so many other indicators that's showing the same thing, that Bitcoin is historically oversold right now. Historically oversold. But despite that, We're still higher than previous bottoms. We still have all the bulls. We still have people that are taking Bitcoin off the exchanges, right? And miners are still very pro Bitcoin despite all the negativities and how oversold Bitcoin is. The fundamentals are better than ever. Better than ever. So, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, now outside of the awesome stuff, what else is there? Well, I did talk about this before already, the proof of reserves that Binance released, right? And so many other exchanges are releasing it. So overall, as a community, the centralized exchanges, they're trying to be more transparent for the users. I mean, but the best thing is to safeguard your own crypto, not your keys, not your crypto, right? So the best is still to safeguard your own crypto in a hardware ledger wallet or like a trust wallet, something like that. But the exchanges themselves are trying to be better as well. So going forward, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, we do have another Canadian exchange hacked, but this is different. This is just client data, not the crypto, it seems like. So Coinsquare, some of you guys in Canada may be familiar with them. They said that all of their funds are in cold wallets, so the assets have not been touched, but maybe the data has been stolen. So they're trying to get to the bottom of that. So hopefully it's true. Hopefully it's just, hopefully all the assets are safe on the exchange, on cold wallets. But, going back to what I just said, even though exchanges are trying to get better, safeguarding your crypto is still the best way to go. Genesis in a deeper hole, I guess, in the hotter water. Our state regulators are not just the federal ones, the state regulators are now investigating whether or not Genesis violated any security laws. And of course, Genesis recently admitted that they have a $1 billion hole they want to patch. DCG said that there's nothing to worry about. Basically, it's not going to affect DCG, which of course affects Grayscale. But Genesis itself may be in trouble. And then lastly, I saw this. There's a lot of talk about the Bahamian Government, how they took, right, like $400-500 million worth of FTX assets, and no one knows why and what they're doing with it. But tonight, they're going to actually address this. The Attorney General will give a national address to discuss the government's response and position with respect to the FTX collapse. So this is specifically just on FTX. And it's going to be streamed on Facebook of all places. It's weird. And I don't know what they're going to say, but 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, by the way. No, Eastern Time. So 7 p.m. Central's time. I may be tuning in. I'm not sure if I am. I may be, but it'll be interesting to hear what they say about this whole situation. We'll see. We will see. So as for Bitcoin, still holding about 16.5, same as before. You can see it's pretty sideways, still really below some of these previous levels, right? That we need to break. This is not a short time frame, but it's just been hovering. I know that overall crypto market cap trended up slightly. I see a big movement with Doge all of a sudden. I guess people are excited about Twitter and the new check mark system and stuff like that. I don't actually quite know why Doge is going up, but it is. And you got some good. I wouldn't say good, but you got some greens today, so we'll take it. We'll take it. But this week will be interesting because of all the economic data. I do think there's going to be a lot more volatility as people come back from vacations and stuff. So let's see what happens. All right, let's do some Q&A. Man, Low turnout today. Very low turnout. Everyone's watching their sports today. I may actually change my Sunday streams to be earlier, or maybe just do a night one instead, because with FIFA going on, with football going on, and with basketball going on, it's kind of tough. Kind of tough to tune in, I know. All right, let me scroll up here. Black Friday, no line, huge flop. Well, I wouldn't say that. Everyone, was buying online, and Cyber Monday is coming up. But early reports say it's pretty good. I don't know how it is versus previous years. But yeah, no one was waiting online. It's all done online now. Let's see. Andrew says, crypto should have gone higher last year, but didn't because SBF wasn't buying the underlying assets. Therefore, crypto is held down on purpose by all Americans who want to keep the world currency. That's an interesting take. I don't know if that's actually true. In fact, I probably think that's not true. I think Bitcoin didn't go higher, didn't have that peak of 100,000 because a lot of people were surprised how aggressive the Fed turned right away. The very first rate hike we had was in January. So in December, they announced it. And that's when December turned bearish and things started coming down. I think that's what happened. But, who knows what else was going on. All right, let's see here. Richard, if we're expecting 100K plus in next bull run, would you recommend pulling out of my 401k and buy BTC? I have 11K in 1K. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial or retirement advisor, so I can't tell you what to do, nor should you listen to my advice. You have to decide on your own. But ultimately, I personally think that Bitcoin will go higher. I mean, you just look at what's going on around the world. People are starting to pay attention to inflation and what caused it. People are looking to opt out, try to get something into something better, right? And as Bitcoin's fundamental continue to grow, despite horrible conditions, Bitcoin will head higher. It may take time. It may take time to weed out the bad actors, which is still happening, right? But Bitcoin is down but never out, and it always gets right back up. And in crypto as an overall whole, you think about it, it's just technology. It's just advancing further. We're going from Web 2 to Web 3, and who knows, Web 3 to 4, right? It's part of the growing, technology, basically. Where overall the ecosystem is emerging, and there's going to be many new innovations that come out. So these are the reasons why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, crypto overall. So, but you decide. You decide what you want to do with your money. I don't know if the China protest is going to affect the U.S. market or the European market. We'll see. Obviously, supply chain issues does, right? And the protests are actually just fighting against the lockdowns, which I don't think the Chinese government is going to, relax on their zero COVID policy. But, yeah, I don't know. If they do and they get rid of it, it'll just help. It'll help supply chain. But if they continue to have lockdowns, it's still going to make supply chain issues a thing, and it'll probably be a thing for quite some time. Overcome, you're welcome. Jeff, always appreciate your support. Would you prefer to DCA weekly rather than daily? Yes, I think daily is too much, too fast. You want to set a schedule. Maybe for some, weekly could be too much too, but you just want to find something that works for you. So weekly, bi-weekly, once a month, you know, find something that works for you and take the guessing out of it, take the emotions out of it. Lincoln, why do you always just pop in here sporadically to ask about Litecoin? You've been holding on for so long, you believe in it, you know. Stick with it. I mean, recently it's been holding pretty good, right? So you got to be happy about that. Barak says, I DCA daily. It takes out the phone. That's pretty hard to do daily. But I mean, if it's a small amount, you think about how much people spend on coffee or eating out or whatever, right? It could be anywhere from $5 to $20, $30 that people spend every day, right? And if you just didn't do that and you put that $5 to $30 into Bitcoin daily, hey, that adds up. That adds up to thousands per month. Win says $20 daily. Hey, yeah. As long as, you know, as long as it's not affecting you day to day, never invest more than what you could afford to lose. If you follow those rules, you're good. Is Tether going to go under soon? Every year we hear about more Tether FUD. And when I say FUD, it's not false information. It's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. A lot of people in the space still somehow doesn't understand that. Every year we have Tether FUD, and they're somewhat warranted, but every year we don't see a collapse. So I don't know if this will be this year or next year, but it's not something that I look forward to, and I don't think anyone's looking forward to. And we have seen this transition away from USDT. USDC, BUSD are getting stronger every single day. And the more people use them, the more adopted they are, the more strength it takes out of USDT, which ultimately, you know, kind of deleverage the risk, so to speak, right? So, yeah. Why is BTC winning over 99% of all coins? Because there's no face behind it, no taxes possible. Only thing that kills the price is exchanges giving out multiple BTCs. Cold wallets would be key. Although I appreciate your enthusiasm over BTC, that's just factually wrong. There is taxes for sure. The thing that kills it is not due to just exchanges giving out multiple BTCs, and I think you're saying that they're. I don't know. I think you're referring to lending companies. Cold wallets are key for sure, but BTC is winning because it's different than everything else. And it's not just Bitcoin's winning. Ethereum is winning. BNB is winning. There's a lot of crypto out there that's winning. They don't compete with Bitcoin. And that's the thing I think most people get wrong. Bitcoin is in a category by itself, and everything else is in a category by themselves. So it's different. How can we ever have our bull run and the Fed doesn't fix its balance sheet and tighten more? They'll never fix their balance sheet, man. Chef, just look at our debt, the national deficit. It's like what, 30 trillion? They don't plan on fixing the balance sheet ever. I think that's the big joke. I'm starting to realize that's the big joke. Like, hey, we need to get rid of our balance sheet, all the assets we built, and, you know, let's start making some money and reducing our debt. That's a joke. They'll never happen. They're just planning on it to grow forever, infinitely. There's no max pain. Max pain is the downfall of the Federal Reserve. That's when we'll feel max pain. But as for max pain for crypto, we have felt it already. Doesn't mean that there can't be more pain, but we have definitely felt it. The drawdown and extended period is equal to our previous times. And if you look at tech, has definitely been decimated. If you look at the U.S. market. But this whole notion that somehow the Fed is going to fix everything and they have to do this and this and this, you know what? The more you learn about how money works and more you learn about how the Fed works or central banks work, you realize that they're all just giant Ponzi schemes and they don't plan for it to get better at all. It's just a matter of when they collapse. Hopefully not within our lifetime, but sometime they will. And it's going to be disastrous. And people are trying to prepare for that by opting out, by getting into things like Bitcoin. But it's really messy. Just the more you learn about it, the more you shake your head at it. Sam is part of the Democrats' money laundering scandals. He's definitely in there, for sure. He's definitely in there. I don't know how it all ties together, but he's the second biggest donor to the Democrats. That's proven fact. Chef, that's really what it comes down to. Stack sats or ETH, or wherever your poison is, and keep DCAing and holding. Is you just look at everything else and it's really getting worse. You can't possibly think that, you know, fiat is going to grow in value when there's more being printed every year, you know. Savings account banks don't give you anything for your savings. You know, you're getting 0.01%, 0.1% if you deposit your money into banks, while inflation is just eating your buying power away every single year, right? So if you truly understand that, and you're like, well, if that's really what's happening, what should I do? Well, you have to invest. You have to invest in assets that beat inflation, that won't eat away at your buying power and won't inflate away, right? The one asset that can do that is Bitcoin. Not just Bitcoin. There's others, but Bitcoin is the best suited for that. Do you think Solana will recover? I think it will, but it's going through a lot of pain, okay? A lot of FUD around Solana right now because they're ties to FTX. And Alameda still they hold 13% of all Solana out there. Most of it is locked, though. It's not like they could sell it, but it's locked. But still, they hold a tremendous amount. And because of the ties with FTX and Alameda, really fearful. And plus, of course, some of the issues that they dealt with before with all the network outages, that still has not been resolved. So it may take them longer to recover, but I do think they will still. But you know what? I guess we'll see. Any news on why Cadena moved today? Someone just said that Cadena and Flux moved. Could just because they're really oversold. Well, they moved today. Let's see. Still, versus 1 month, they're still way down, right? So, bottom line is, I think they're just oversold. But I still like Cadena. I still think they're promising L1. You know, when things get better, I think they will too. If Gary Gensler was an animal, what would he be? I don't know. Probably a rat. I think that's the most fitting. Why is Doge pumping? Probably due to Elon. Twitter is about to release their new checkmark system with multiple checks, different colors, and so forth. Maybe I'll finally get verified. But I think people are anticipating that after that, Elon may do something with Doge. I mean, right now, Doge just hinges on Elon right now and Twitter. That's it. I mean, I don't know what future Doge has. There's nothing else on the roadmap other than maybe Doge gets incorporated in Twitter and gets real use out of it, real utility, let's say. But I think any pumps with Doge just has to do with Elon. But he's the one man that can do it. He has so much power. He can make it happen. He can make it happen. Do you think Lego would ever get into crypto? I think it's just a matter of time. They're really slow. Legos are like, they seem like they're a more conservative company. They're not jumping into a lot of the new age stuff. I don't see them very proactive with social either. But I think it's just a matter of time. They'll probably release like, I think they need to release like limited edition Legos, which they have not done yet. Again, you can't say Legos, Lego sets. I think eventually they're going to come out with limited edition serial number Lego sets. I think that's going to be the next big thing for them. And eventually they're going to do NFTs. But when it comes to Lego sets, it's more physical, right? To be able to build it, not have a picture of it. But I do think the serial number thing is going to come. I mean, they're building more and more sets catered to adults, and they're bigger and bigger and bigger. That Eiffel Tower, the new Eiffel Tower set, is so enormous. Those are not meant for kids anymore. So they're catering to adults. It's just a matter of time they cater to adults that are looking for investments, right? To actually buy the rare sets and kind of use them as an investment vehicle. I mean, some of the older sets are, if you haven't opened them already, but I think that's the next evolution for Lego sets. Yeah, I'm zero interest in RC cars. I have a friend. I don't know if he's a friend, but someone I know is really into RC cars. I have zero interest in it, so I can't get into it. Build a Minecraft house. Another challenge. Sheldon, no thanks. No thanks. All right, guys. I'll let you guys go. Overall, this week will be interesting. A lot of Fed stuff. A lot of economic stuff that we have to look forward to. So we'll see what Bitcoin does. But right now, fundamentals are still great. Very, very historically oversold. So this week could be good. Could be very good. All right. Smash on the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And there will be a weekly recap video coming out tonight as well. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.